It's good to be with you this morning. It's my first Mass back with, as I mentioned last night, the whole time we've been, live streaming the Masses, and, we, of course, welcome all those that are watching via the internet. We're glad you're with us, but somehow, some way, it's good to see faces looking back at you. Even if you have, I can really see from, your eyes up. It's still a good thing. And so it's a sign that, things are slowly changing, okay? We're trying to get back to some sense of normality. It's going to take a while, and it has been a long siege. And for those that are home alone by themselves, the social distancing and isolation is a tough thing. But their crosses, if you think about what we hear about in today's gospel and these readings, what Jesus says, take up your cross. That's a cross too, that we have faith. We have faith to know that God walks with us every step of the way. So what Jesus says, if you receive a prophet or you receive a righteous man, receive a little one and give him a cup of cold water, you will receive your reward. What is he talking about? It's hard to comprehend what he says, lest you love me more than mother or father or son or daughter. In other words, the people that you love the most, many of them may be right next to you in the pew. You can't be my disciple. What's he saying? Well, what he's saying is that ultimately you love me, and so those folks in your life and those relationships that you have leads to his greater honor and glory. And I know as soon as I say this, parents know right away, and husbands and wives know right away. You die to self for them so that they can be better, right? Husbands do it for wives. You love each other in a way that, and especially when you first began to date and court one another before you were married and the beginning of your wedded life, you didn't think twice about it. I'd do anything for him. I would do anything for her. Huh? And then as the years go on, they have to be things that you actually think about. Yeah, well, I will do that for him. I will do that for her. But it's not quite as easy as it was at the very beginning. Children, same way. Those little ones that we hear about today, this woman of influence, Shaman, she, Alicia says that next year, when I come back next year this time, you will fondle a little one in your arms. She would have the son that she longed for. But it was a gift from God, the fruit of his love, that would allow this to take place. And so your children, they're yours, and you sacrifice. Sacrificing is like carrying a cross. Sacrificing, dying to self that Christ may live in you. And Christ may live in you through the care that you give to a wife or a husband, a mother, a father, your family. We don't think twice about that, but then we have to take it beyond our families. It's a little more difficult. And sometimes even in the family, the terrible twos, the teenage years, I have families, I had one of my nieces say, I wish I could just give them away for about those 5 years or so, from 12 to 18 to 20, something like that. Of course you can't do that. But you love them. And you overlook those things. You forgive and pardon each other, husbands and wives, children, parents. You do that, what we're called to do. And so it is that by virtue of our baptisms, we hear in that second reading, Romans, St. Paul talks about, if we are buried with Christ in baptism, we shall live with him forever. And it's the same thing in baptism. Become children of God. But children witnessing to the goodness and the love of God as his own. We're called to deliver the good news, not always by words, but what we do. What we do is You know, that's what we're called to live our faith. And so today, as we come before the Lord, we ask God for the grace to live that faith, to die to self that Christ may live in us. Today's a bittersweet day for our parish, because today is really the last official day of one that we know and love so very much, Adele Scheer, the head of our music department. She's here, of course, this morning singing and playing, and she's been with us for 20 years, over 20 years, and not just here, but she's done this. This is her ministry. It is who she is, and she has led us, I guess, kind of like a mother. I think that's a good comparison. In her sacrifice, she had her own family. How many kids, Adele? 6? 7. 7. Oh, I'm sorry. 7 children. She raised them. Basically, doing that and playing and singing and ministering in parishes like this parish, dedicating herself. I said, kind of joke with her about probably should have a cot in her office because she's here more than she was home oftentimes, especially later as the kids were older. But she has witnessed, and that's what Jesus is saying, to love me more than anything else. Well, she loves the Lord, and she did that. If you ever picked up the Evangelion bulletins before, she always had a reflection. Those reflections were so beautiful. It just spoke about her relationship with the Lord and how that would help her to have a relationship with you and me, especially in the music ministry here in the parish. I've known Adele longer than the time that I've been here, only less than 2 years, but my mom sang in the choir, and I knew her long before I came here. She's a faith-filled, loving, and prayerful woman. We thank God for her, and we will miss her. Of course, she's not going anywhere. She'll be around to help with the music ministry, whoever's going to be coming in, to help them in that transition, and to, play for weddings and funerals, things like that. She'll always be there, available as long as she can. And we wish her and thank her for the years that she has dedicated to us. And I think the readings today reflect that, loving God more than anything else. She truly has witnessed that in her years here, and we thank God for that. And so now we're going to pause for a moment, and there's a little thing little something we'd like to air at this point in time. So please be patient.
Listen to me. Come, my children, my lambs, my loved ones, turn around, look at me, I love you.
Dear again, every time that I have come to St. John and Paul Parish for any event, it's been spiritually exhilarating. Clearly because of the active faith of so many people there, but especially because of the engagement that has taken place at the Holy Mass, our engagement with, our connection with Jesus. And in a very special way, you have been a major part of that connection. You have used so well your musical talents and have shared those clearly for the honor and glory of God and for the spiritual journey that all of us are on, especially as we come together to celebrate the Holy Mass. As you begin your well-deserved retirement, please know that you have my special prayers, that God will grant you long life with much happiness, deep in holiness and good health. Love you much. God bless you. And may the road ahead be very bright as Jesus walks with you and as we all thank him in gratitude for all that you have done to help us fall more deeply in love with him. God bless you.